She said, "Marry me," as a joke. Her best friend said, "I thought you'd never ask." A real love story about the person who was there all along. What if the love of your life has been sitting right next to you this whole time? What if you have been comparing every single person you dated to someone you never even admitted you had feelings for? What if the most important confession of your life happened on a random Thursday afternoon, covered in furniture dust, surrounded by IKEA parts that made absolutely no sense? Because that is exactly what happened, and I need to tell you every single detail. Welcome back to Romantic Stories, where real love is never where you expect it, never as polished as it looks in movies, and sometimes it starts with a joke that was never really a joke at all. If you are new here, you picked a perfect day to find us. And if you have been here before, you already know we only do real on this channel. Stay with me all the way to the end of this one, because this story starts funny and ends in a way that is going to make you think about someone in your own life differently. I promise you that. She and Emma had been best friends since they were 14 years old. They met in a high school chemistry class where neither of them understood a single thing the teacher was saying. They bonded over their shared confusion and their mutual opinion that the periodic table looked like someone had thrown random letters at a wall and decided to call it science. From that day forward, they were inseparable. Late-night study sessions that turned into 3-hour conversations about absolutely nothing and everything. Road trips where they got completely lost, but somehow always stumbled onto the best little roadside diners in the middle of nowhere. Movie marathons where they quoted every line and irritated everyone around them. The kind of friendship where you do not need to explain yourself because the other person already knows exactly what you mean before you finish the sentence. Their whole dynamic was built on playful sarcasm and relentless teasing. She would tell Emma she had the music taste of a 40-year-old divorced man going through a midlife crisis. Emma would fire back that she dressed like she let a toddler pick her clothes in the dark. That was their love language. That was just how they worked. And because of that dynamic, they joked about everything. Running away to start an alpaca farm, faking their own deaths, and starting over as professional hermits. And yes, marriage. A few times they had made that joke. You know the one. The classic. If we are both still single at 40, let's just marry each other so we do not die alone. Totally normal best friend stuff. Totally harmless. Totally a joke. Or so she thought. Flash forward to a regular Thursday afternoon. Nothing special. No warning that her entire life was about to flip upside down. Emma had texted asking for help assembling IKEA furniture. And if you have ever assembled IKEA furniture, you already know what that experience does to a person. 2 hours in, they were both sitting on the living room floor, surrounded by approximately 7,000 tiny wooden dowels, screws that all looked identical, but apparently were not, and instructions written in what might as well have been ancient hieroglyphics. Emma had the manual upside down, squinting at it like sheer determination alone could make it make sense. "I think we're missing a piece," Emma said. "You're holding the instructions upside down." Emma flipped it right side up, stared at it for exactly 3 seconds, then threw it across the room. "This is impossible. We should just hire someone." "We are not hiring someone to put together a bookshelf, Emma. We are adults. We can figure this out." "Can we though? Can we really?" And that was the moment it happened. Sitting there in the furniture dust, completely exhausted and slightly delirious from 2 hours of Swedish engineering, she just opened her mouth and said it. "You know what? Forget the bookshelf. Just marry me instead. At least then we would have someone legally obligated to help with this for the rest of our lives." She was already laughing as she said it. Full-on giggling at her own joke, already reaching for another piece of wood, already moving on, not even really registering Emma's reaction because in her mind this was just another one of their stupid jokes. Gone in 5 minutes. But then the silence hit her. Not a regular silence. A heavy one. The kind that has weight to it. She looked up. Emma was staring at her. Really staring. Eyes wide. An expression on her face she had genuinely never seen before. Somewhere between shock and emotion and something else she could not name. And she was not laughing. "Emma, are you okay? Did you inhale too much furniture dust? Do I need to call someone?" And then Emma said the words that broke her brain completely. "I thought you'd never ask me." She froze. Literally froze. Mid-reach for a screwdriver, every function in her body just stopped. She must have heard that wrong. There was no way. Maybe she had been in the IKEA dimension too long and reality had started to dissolve. "What?" She managed. Her own voice sounded strange to her. Emma was still looking at her with that same expression, and now she could see that Emma's eyes were getting watery, which sent a completely new wave of panic through her chest, because Emma did not cry. This was a woman who had laughed when she broke her arm in 10th grade, because she found the angle of the bone genuinely funny. "I thought you'd never ask me," Emma said again, quieter this time. More vulnerable. "I've been waiting for you to say something for 3 years. Okay, I need to stop here for 1 second. Because I know some of you watching right now have been in exactly this position. Not necessarily with furniture involved, but that moment. That moment when someone you never expected to see you that way is suddenly looking at you like you are the only person in the room. And everything you thought you understood about the relationship just rearranges itself in real time. Drop a heart in the comments right now if you have ever had a moment where a friendship suddenly felt like so much more and you had absolutely no idea what to do with that feeling. Because what happens next? This is where it gets real. Emma took a slow breath, set down the piece of shelf she had been holding, and looked at her directly. "Okay," she said. "I'm just going to say this. Because apparently you are the most oblivious person on the planet, and I cannot keep pretending anymore. I'm in love with you." No build-up. No careful phrasing. Just dropped it right there into the middle of the living room like a small, life-altering bomb. I have been for years. Probably since sophomore year of college when you stayed up all night with me when I had food poisoning. You held my hair back, and you did not even complain when I got sick on your shoes. I threw those shoes away. They were my favorite Nikes. Emma laughed through her tears. "I know. You told everyone you lost them. And I kept waiting," she continued, her voice cracking slightly now. "I kept waiting for you to see me the way I see you. I kept thinking maybe one day you would just realize we are basically already in a relationship without the kissing part. But you never did. You just kept making jokes about us getting married when we were old and desperate. Like I was some backup plan. And it has been slowly destroying me." She wiped her face with her sleeve and looked up with an expression so raw and open it physically hurt to watch. "So when you said it just now, even though I knew you were joking, even though you were covered in furniture dust being your usual ridiculous self, something in me just gave up pretending. I couldn't laugh it off anymore. I couldn't keep acting like my heart doesn't skip every time you smile at me. So yeah, I thought you'd never ask. Because I've been yours this whole time. And you didn't even know it." The silence that followed was one of those rare silences where time stops being a reliable measurement. Could have been 5 seconds. Could have been 5 years. Because as she sat there on that living room floor, something strange started happening inside her head. Every single memory of their friendship was suddenly replaying itself, but with the volume turned up on something she had never let herself hear before. The way Emma always laughed at her jokes. Even the terrible ones. The way Emma texted good morning every single day without fail. The way Emma knew her exact coffee order, her favorite songs, and the precise diagonal cut she preferred for sandwiches. The way Emma touched her arm when she was talking to her. The way Emma looked at her sometimes when she thought she was not paying attention. And then the thought that completely unraveled her. She had never been able to make a relationship work. She had dated people who were perfectly good on paper, and still something had always been missing. And she had never let herself examine too closely what that missing thing actually was. Until right now. Because she was suddenly realizing, with the specific clarity that only comes from a moment that cannot be taken back, that Emma was the first person she wanted to tell when something good happened. That she felt more herself with Emma than with anyone else alive. That the thought of Emma dating someone else had always made her feel a specific kind of uncomfortable she had never wanted to look at directly. She had been in love with her best friend for years, and she had been too scared of losing her to ever admit it. "Say something," Emma said quietly. "Please. You're scaring me." She opened her mouth. Closed it. "It's okay," Emma said, already standing, already creating distance. "If you don't feel the same way, it's fine. We can forget this happened. I can move to another country and change my name, and we never have to speak of it again." "No," she practically shouted, scrambling to her feet, nearly wiping out on a stack of wooden planks. "No, do not. Just give me 1 second. My brain is trying to process 10 years of emotions right now." Emma went still, and looked at her with that fragile, terrifying expression of hope. "Emma," she said, and her voice came out far more emotional than she expected. "I think I might be the dumbest person who has ever lived." A confused laugh. "What? I've been in love with you too." The words came out like something she had been holding underwater for years, and had finally stopped fighting. I just didn't let myself see it because I was so afraid of losing you. You are my best friend. You are the most important person in my life. And some part of me knew that if I admitted what I actually felt, everything would change. And I could not handle the thought of losing you. So I just kept making the jokes. Emma was crying harder now, but she was smiling. The kind of smile that takes over a whole face. Are you serious right now? Because if you are messing with me, I swear. She closed the gap between them in 2 steps. And she kissed her best friend. And it was the most natural thing that had ever happened to her. It felt like the end of a long journey she had not realized she was on. Like coming home to a place she recognized, but had never let herself walk into before. Like 10 years of inside jokes and 3 a.m. phone calls and knowing glances and unspoken things finally making complete and total sense. When they pulled apart, they were both laughing and crying at the same time and definitely looked absolutely unhinged. So, Emma said, still grinning through tears, "Does this mean you're actually proposing? Because I feel like we should probably clarify that." "I do not have a ring," she said. "I am covered in furniture dust. We are standing in the ruins of Swedish engineering. This is objectively the worst proposal in human history." "I don't know," Emma said, wrapping her arms around her neck. "I think it's kind of perfect. And now I need to ask you the question that has been sitting under this entire story. Because here is the controversial truth that not everyone is going to agree with. Some people are going to watch this and say this is the most beautiful love story they have ever heard. The friendship that quietly became the great love of someone's life. But some people are going to say this is also a story about someone who had a person completely devoted to them for 3 years and never noticed, never asked, never looked closely enough. So I want to know where you stand. Is it romantic that they finally found each other? Absolutely. But was it fair that Emma spent 3 years loving someone who did not even see it? And here is the one that is really going to start something in this comment section. Do you think love that grows from a deep friendship is more real and more lasting than love at first sight? Or do you think friendship love is actually harder because you have too much to lose? Tell me. Drop your honest answer below. Fight about it. I genuinely want this conversation. They still have not finished that bookshelf. She declared it cursed. A witness to everything they almost never said out loud. And some weeks later, when Emma jokingly reminded her that a proper proposal would require an actual ring, she promised to make it happen. And also promised to make it a joke somehow. Emma told her she would not expect anything less. Because that is the thing about the person who has always been there. The one who laughs at every version of you. The one who already knows your worst days and still shows up. The one who has quietly been yours before either of you had the words for it. Sometimes love does not arrive. Sometimes it was already there, sitting on the floor next to you, trying to read upside-down instructions, waiting for you to finally say something real. And the only question is whether you are brave enough to stop making it a joke. If this story hits something real for you today, subscribe right now and turn on your notifications. Because we have stories coming to this channel that are going to make you feel all of this and more. And before you go, one last question. Is there someone in your life right now who might be your Emma? Someone you have been keeping at the safe distance of a joke for a little too long? You do not have to answer here. But maybe you need to answer someone.